Liverpool v everybody. We are back to talk about, of course, who we're drawing in the next round. Obviously, those who don't know, it is Atletico Madrid, and there have been several of us in the fan base, I would say, by far, who thought that this was probably our worst matchup we could get. So of course we did get that. I had my opinions on that, which I will voice after the boys. But we have Salim is back. Salim, how you doing, man?
They're muted, bro.
Guys, unmute your mics, man. Come on. All right, Gerri, we'll start with you.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on Atletico?
yeah. I mean, it's one of those teams where they're not doing like well in the league at the minute. I don't think they're really on it. They've been getting a lot of draws, a few losses, very poor away from home. Um, but they're a tough team in the Champions League knockout stages. Over two legs, they're a decent team. So it's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a tough match, but it's a match where I'm not afraid of Madrid. I think that they're missing Diego Dean massively this season. You can see that. He's a real sort of lead in that defense that holds them together, and they've missed that. So, Mane against Trippier. Mane always gives Trippier nightmares. That's gonna be great to see. So, I'm fully confident we're gonna go through. I would have taken anyone. So for me, Atletico Madrid, bring it on.
Yep, actually, the last time we were there, we actually obviously brought the trophy home. So, yeah, I tend to side with a lot of that, just the confidence. But yeah, Mame, what were your thoughts when you saw that we were facing Athletic?
Yeah, Atleti. Well, it's a decent team. It's not the Atleti we used to know. It's completely different. You know, they're struggling a bit in the league. They have, of course, to perform, and yeah, I think they have issues with Simeone since Griezmann left and all the new signings. They kind of in transition. It seems like the end of a cycle for them. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, we have enough to go through this round.
Yeah, listen, I think it's the eighth anniversary of Diego Simeone, and I think what he's done there has been amazing. It does kind of feel like it's got that same similar kind of Pochettino feel. He's kind of taken them, I think, as far as he can take them. I think he could be proud of that to a degree, picking up trophies along the way. I think the biggest thing that people were concerned with is the fact that this team can just sit in and kind of rough out a 1-1 or 0-0 draw, which they are capable of doing. I think for me, as Gerri alluded to, their defense just isn't anywhere near what they used to be with Godin and some of those other guys that they had. They still have some really good players, but for me, going forward is their biggest issue, and probably throughout the years has been, if you looked at that team, one of their bigger issues. So, I was ultra confident on any team that we faced. I think this team will give us a game. It's not going to be a walk in the park, but it's the Champions League and it's the last 16 teams. And I guess, as things are going, the best 16 teams in Europe right now. So every game, I think, and we'll get to that, I think there's some other really, really good matchups. But obviously Madrid will give us a good game home and away. I think the key is that we do have the second leg at Anfield, which we all know what that's about. So it really just comes down to us getting a good result at their stadium, which obviously we've as I said before, recently had some success there. So obviously not against them, but in their stadium. So I look forward to a really, really good matchup between both teams, and look forward to seeing us just trotting ahead, keep going. Salim, are you available yet? Or are you still? Okay, he's still muted. Okay, Gerri, what do you think is one of the or some of the reasons why? Do you think it's just that nostalgia of people feeling like Atleti and their defensive structure and how they can grind results out? What do you think is the hesitance for some supporters when it came to this matchup?
Still not understanding how good we actually are. It's not nothing to do with what Atletico Madrid have. You need to understand how good that we actually are. We're the best team in the world at the minute, and you need to come to terms with these fans saying, oh, we're going to be Napoli even though they're playing bad. Listen, the European knockout stage for Liverpool is it's a different Liverpool, and we're going to step up our game another level, and we know that. We're going to have more games now. We're slowly getting into our rhythm with clean sheets now, scoring more goals, everything. So you need to understand that Liverpool it's not Liverpool a few years back. Even the 17-18 season, we were a few thousand out of defense. We're solid defensively, brilliant keeper, world class, fantastic midfield. So let's just have a bit of faith in the team for 1 minute. I just want all these fans, doubting us. What is it to doubt about Liverpool at the minute? I just can't see it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mame, this team, knowing how good they can be defensively, even though they're not as good as they were once upon a time. Have you gained a bit more confidence than you probably already have in Liverpool and facing these kind of teams who can set up, get stuck in, keep the games tight? Do you gain extra confidence knowing that we've gone against those teams of late and have done pretty well? They haven't all been, smashes. We haven't smacked everybody up, but we always have gotten results. And it seems like, as opposed to maybe a couple seasons ago, we struggled with those teams. We're not really having those same kind of problems, find different ways to beat those teams.
Yeah, I think we've developed a lot. Like we can hit things in any kind of way. They sit deep. We can be patient. We can play with two balls, one ball, set piece.
Did the voice go out?
Yeah, it looks like Mame. I'm losing Mame. Anyway, you're back, Salim. So let me ask you. Yeah, Mame, you there?
Okay, let's Salim go. I'll come back.
Okay, yeah, Salim. Let me just go back to you and ask you the question of when we got Atleti and the draw. What were your thoughts when you first saw that?
My first thought was, first of all, you got to respect Atletico. They are a defensive team, and they're disciplined by Diego Simone. And it's going to be really a tough game, but I see at least I expect us as a European champions and having that pedigree and having that mentality to go through. So all these, you can some fans were like, some of our fans were worried because they didn't want to face them because it's a team that is low block defensively, and they're gonna make everything a living hell. But you want that. You also want that because at least when you go through that first battle, the second battle. Okay, we have succeeded this one. We know how to respond the next one, and I can I would say it's a tough match. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a boring. Not boring, but it's gonna be a grueling match. Like it's two teams going at each other. So
yeah,
yes, it's gonna be a tough match. It's gonna drain a lot of our players' energy, but I expect them to come out of the top. So I'm not concerned. I am not worried. I mean, bring on whoever we get. That's the way I was.
Yeah, no, I agree, and again, back to what Gerri said, I think surely everybody in this conversation respects the team and knows how good we are, but I think there's still this lingering mentality or thought that Liverpool struggle with low block teams, and I think we've proven time and time again that that's something of the past. I think Klopp there was once upon a time where even I was saying Klopp was void of a plan B or C. It's just that heavy metal football, and if that breaks, then nothing else you have. But you can see over the time, Klopp has developed different styles to set his team in. I mean, we're doing long balls to beat guys, all types of ways to beat teams. So for me, again, this isn't the Atletico team that I think once upon a time, maybe this would have been more of a daunting task or a difficult match. And again, it will be difficult to a degree because, again, they're one of the last teams, so they're there for a reason. And they will be good, especially at home. I think their record at home in Europe is pretty good. But at the same time, I think what happened last season in Spain, Barcelona, we'll definitely learn from that and make sure we take our chances and make this a two-legged thing where we can get through. And I think, obviously, Klopp's record in two-legged ties is there, self-evident. So I just don't feel like we will struggle as much as I think some teams think. Mame, back to you. I was just saying what we've done against some of the low-block teams, particularly.
Back, bro.
Sorry, what?
He's not back yet, bro.
I can't hear you.
Mane.
He's not back. He's not back yet. He's not in the chat.
Oh, he's not back. Okay, got it. Sorry, I should have been looking at the screen. But yeah, well, I'll just stay with you, Salim. what you've seen us do over time with Klopp as of late, especially particularly in the Premier League against low block teams. Does that give you a bit more, even more confidence going into this game?
Yeah, yeah, it does, and I think uh, uh, Klopp has learned everything from. If you look at it, like 17, 18, we were not defensive and we can do nothing, and we had trouble of not winning against the lower teams.
Hmm.
2018 changed. 2019, the mentality has changed. I mean, 1920, the mentality has changed. So you see the progress that is happening every time. I mean, I remember when we lost to Swansea 1-0, we couldn't even break them down. We couldn't even do nothing. And look how things have changed. Look how when teams sit back and just we pro, like look, and don't even give them time to breathe or to even relax. We find that equalizing goal. So yeah, I think Klopp will set up the right way for the team and the right way for them to win. So I'm not really concerned about it. And the only thing is gonna be 180 minute of painful game. It's
Yeah,
gonna take a lot of energy. It's gonna take a lot of energy. And don't disrespect Atletico or
yeah,
anything, but you got to give them their due diligence and their respect they deserve, because I truly respect Simone, the way he drills his team, the discipline, and the way they try to play, defensively in low block.
yeah,
So we cannot, like, for me is when we go to Metropolis, we cannot go one goal down, because when they score that goal, it's over. They will defend with their life, and they will
mm,
defend their life. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, if you look at it against Arsenal when they played the Europa League, they scored. What's his name? Griezmann scored. What did they do? They absolutely didn't give
Yeah. They're not
Arsenal
Arsenal,
any.
but they're
Yeah,
not Arsenal.
yeah, yeah. They didn't give Arsenal no nothing, zero.
yeah,
We're not Arsenal, mate. We're a different animal to Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean they're a team to be respected, and I expect us to go through. So at least club will have the team ready for it and everything.
yeah. Listen, I think we have one of the best, if arguably not the best keeper in the world, but obviously they still have Oblak, who I think on most days you can still consider him one of their best players, if not their best, on most games. Um, I think their forwards, obviously, you mentioned Griezmann there. Obviously, they don't have many more. They're relying on a guy named Morata. I think we all know who that is. He puts no fear in my heart. Um, Obviously, Diego Costa has fallen off from his good form that we've seen him play over the seasons. I think if he does play, I think would be a good move for Diego Simeone in terms of him thinking that maybe he can unsettle some guys. We know how Diego plays. I Van Dijk is seasoned enough, has gone through enough to not allow that or whoever plays next to him. So when I really look across that team, I think for me, the players that I look at and think, they'll probably have two legs is Partey. I don't know if he's hurt or anything like that, but I think him as a midfielder is one of their most impressive players to me. But as far as their attacking, I just don't see many ways that they can hurt us. Football is a crazy game, so obviously they can come out with something on the day and maybe get a goal or two or whatever the case may be. But just before, there's not much that I see from them. Gerri, Lamar, I guess now I should probably focus more on the league and watch some of the Atletico games. But this season, have you seen anything from their attacking? And I forgot about the young kid Felix, but is there anything attacking wise on their team that you would be, I want to say concerned, but you think that maybe they can bring up some good performance on the day?
They've got good attacking players, but they just don't suit the system. They've got very good players like Felix, Lamar. Morata's been actually scoring quite a few goals this season. Costa on his days a good player, but they're not they barely get into the final third most of the game, especially in these sort of games. They don't really have an impact. I don't expect them to have an impact. So I'm not. As I said, listen. I know Salim was talking about how they defend. Listen, we're not Arsenal. We're a completely different animal to Arsenal. You know what I mean? If it goes, even if it goes 1-0 down, like as I said, Wednesday on the bye, we can come back against Barcelona with key players, let alone Real Madrid. So, we can come back any situation. Obviously, I want us to just make it as easy as possible. It's going to be tough, a couple of tough games, but don't worry about it. Don't worry at all. When it comes to Europe, we're going to go up to another level. Concentration is going to go up to the level, and the performance is going to go up to another level. What we've seen is going to be just these sloppy goals. That's going to cut out the Champions Liverpool can go up another gear. And I think we're starting to see us go into that gear now because of all these. Starting to see us go
Hey,
into
Gary,
upper gear.
are you using headphones?
Huh?
Are you using headphones?
Yeah.
Okay, this is hard to hear you a little bit, but
Oh, all right, cool.
yeah. No, I mean,
So
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that like we I said that Madrid have got good players, but they just don't have that freedom that they probably should have to succeed. Like Felix, he's only scored about 2 league goals this year. You know what I mean? He's been played as a winger, tracking back and all this stuff. So same with Lamar. Lamar is if you're gonna go to Madrid, Atletico Madrid, as an attacking player, it's not the best decision because you're going to be asked to do a very defensive job, which won't
Mm.
sort of let you have that freedom to go and express yourself on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think that's actually one thing that you got to really consider, as you said, with attacking players going there. But it's also something that I feel like I can commend that manager on for getting, top talent attacking wise to play that role. And I don't know if maybe that's why Lamar hasn't really featured much. Maybe he's not doing the work as much as Simeone would prefer. But like I said, I haven't watched a lot of their games. I know that I have seen the table in the league, and I know that they've slid down quite a bit for an Atletico team, who's usually up there in the top 4 or 5 for the last 7-8 seasons. So, Mame, anything about this team? Maybe you watched them this season. Anything about this team that you could see where they can get some joy against us and over the 2 legs, but beyond what we talked about them being compact and discipline and stuff like that?
Can you hear me properly now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I think in the midfield they have Tomas Partey you mentioned earlier. He's a really, really good player. One of the best midfield in the Spanish league, actually. Apart from that, well, only the defensive tactics. But frankly, I don't see much. I watched like 7 or 8 games of Atletico this season. It's not it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the team we used to know. Not at all. Even
Yeah.
defensively, they're not as good as they were. When
Mm.
Godin left, and it's a bit different. It's a bit
Mm.
different. Respect them. I respect the coach too, but I think that will it might be easier than we think.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely hope so, and I think there's something to take out of that. I think, listen, there is still an element, I think, strangely, that we need to be concerned with some teams, and I think all of us have said it a bit here or there, different ways. That obviously, you don't want to go into a game too overconfident and disrespecting your opponent. And I think we have the perfect manager to make sure that doesn't happen. I can't imagine a manager, I said this before, saying something like, Zidane said when it came to playing Liverpool if they got Liverpool. So I think he'll have this team ready. I think it'll be interesting to see the teams we play in and around those games and defensively and how they play and how they may be. I don't know what games we have in the league around those times, but how they might be similar to a team like Atletico, who's really just happy to just soak up pressure and defend and hopefully catch us on the counterattack. So that'll be interesting to see the matches that are in and around the Champions League fixtures. But yeah, again, I am confident. I do feel positive about what we can do in this Champions League again, and a beautiful thing it would be to see us get back to the final and win it, obviously. I kind of wanted to open it up to some of the other games and see what you guys thought about just the other matches and maybe just finishing with what we think the final 4 could be in the Champions League. So Salim, I'll start with you. Is there any other games that stood out to you that you thought could be cracking matchups?
Yeah, the thing I'll go. Most people might disagree with me on it. I think PSG and Dortmund is going to be a cracking game, and I have 2
Yeah.
games, and Man City against Real. It's going to be because you got you got Pep going back to the Bernabeu, and you got Man City, who's like most people are saying this year they have to go to the final or somewhere, at least reach the semifinal or somewhere, which I don't see it happening again.
Me either. Me either.
Yeah, there's gonna be the two Kraken, and if he loses in the round of 16, I mean it's gonna be a lot of things to be said about Pep Guardiola. So yeah, I think those two are my game, and I would say the wild card games for me would be Bayern against Chelsea,
Mm.
and I would say most people like they say Valencia. They're not gonna respect Valencia Atlanta, but we know if one of those two wins, they're already in the quarterfinals. So
Yeah.
yeah, those two, those four games, I anticipate. I'm looking forward to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought this is probably one of the best draws in a long time that I can remember. I mean, almost every game is you can find some interest in it. The ones that stood out for me, I think the ones you named, of course, but I'm interested about the Leipzig Spurs match as well. Um, Seeing Leipzig play at all, I know they're leading the Bundesliga right now. Obviously, I have Timo Werner, who I've never really been able to see in a full 90-minute game, so that'll be interesting to see. The Atalanta and Valencia game, I think is great. Two teams who you don't really consider to be huge names in Champions League, not over the past few years anyway. So that'll be interesting to see. I haven't watched any of those teams play at all, so those would be good. But yeah, I think definitely the PSG, Dortmund, Bayern, Chelsea. I'm surprised that City drew Real Madrid. I thought they'd definitely get Valencia or Leon. I mean, that was a shock to me. So when I saw that, I was kind of more excited about that than I was our game, to be honest, because here's the thing. I think if City had Laporte, I think just that one change, you could probably put them kind of neck and neck with Madrid. But I think because of their weak defense, in my opinion, I think Madrid could really, really get at them. So we'll see. I don't think either one of those teams are at their highest power now. But yeah, that'll be an exciting one. Gerri, any matches stand out for you?
Spurs and Leipzig. Spurs and
Mm-hmm.
Leipzig is probably really good. I'm really interested to see how that pans out because Jose Mourinho against a Leipzig team that you can't sleep on. Top of the Bundesliga, playing very well under Nagelsmann's first season. Chelsea Bayern for me. That's about it really. I'm not really interested in other matches. PSG Dortmund. PSG are going to beat Dortmund definitely.
Mm.
So I Dortmund is not going to and they want to fit. I think because they're going to be definite. Um, so yeah, good to especially Spurs Leipzig as I said.
Yeah. Mame?
Almost all the games are really interesting. Almost
Yeah,
all the
same.
ties,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly Real and City. You know, I think City can get something out of this game. Actually, I think they can because uh,
They
the
had the
other
second
year,
leg at home. They had the second leg at Etihad, right?
yeah,
Or first leg?
exactly, and maybe they'll have the players back and maybe
No,
even buy
first
some
leg
more.
burn now. First leg burn now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe they buy some defenders too. But I think they can get something out of this game, because obviously Real is better than they were at the beginning of the season, but they still have frailties, especially defensively. You know? So yeah, and Chelsea's game will be dope too. Chelsea PSG Dortmund. Wow, I think this it might be one of the best games. Chelsea against Dortmund. I
Yeah.
thought Napoli against Barca too, but Gerri reminded me that they hired Gattuso as a coach,
Gattuso.
so I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you never
I
know.
don't.
I mean, is this Napoli? And I know it was a couple of seasons ago, but is this Napoli team better than that Roma team that beat them?
Uh,
I don't know. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Napoli has a good team, but they're just lacking something. I don't know what, but they're lacking
yeah,
something. You know.
yeah, that would be a huge result if they were able to to get them a match that no one's really bringing up, and I get why, but I'm also curious about is the Lyon versus Juventus game.
Forget about it. Then. Memphis is injured till the end of
is
the
he? I
season.
didn't know that. Well then that puts a whole different.
Yeah, the buy. Yeah, the buy is.
Oh well, never mind then. Yeah, that's if he's out indefinitely then.
Yeah, they're both injured, so they cannot. They won't do anything, man.
Okay, well yeah, that should probably be it.
But Lyon is a team. I hate that team, but when they have tough opponents, they can get something out of the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the tactics there. I'm just not a big fan of Sarri, and I just think they're bound to fail at some point in general. It really irritates me that year on, year out, we continue to consider Juve a team that could be a favorite in the Champions League. Not us necessarily, but there's people who talk about the Champions League in every single season. I mean, I get when they first got Ronaldo, maybe you can consider that, but it's just like I don't know why they continue to be a favorite. Same with City, but those are the people who get paid to talk about that, so that's fine. But yeah, no, I think all the matches are pretty good. Just to round it off before I have to get back to work, Salim, what would be in your mind all the teams left? Give me a top 4 in this competition. Who do you think will be in the final 4?
The final 4. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Number one, first of all, I'm gonna put Barcelona because they got that guy Messi. If Messi's playing and everything, and they could at least win at away, and they don't capitulate like they do in the quarterfinal, they will reach the final. Yeah, I'm saying if they don't capitulate away, if they don't, I still got to put them because you can't disrespect Messi what he has done. He carries them all the way, and I'm gonna put Juventus because they got an easy route. So easy route to all the way, and Liverpool because defending champions, no one wants to face them.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna put whoever comes out between Real and no. I'm gonna put Bayern. Bayern are strong this year. Bayern is strong. You cannot disrespect them. So that's my top 4. But remember though, expect the unexpected because this whole thing could blow up in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, I got a feeling we'll get one of these kind of dark horse teams.
Yeah. Valencia might surprise a lot of people. I mean, no one expected them to topple their group. I mean, no one did. Everybody was like Chelsea.
Who was in that group? Was that Chelsea and PSG? I mean,
Ajax.
Ajax. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, everybody was like Ajax being good last year, and they lost. When they lost, everybody was like Valencia's out. They came and they responded well, and they beat Ajax at their home.
Yeah. So you got Liverpool. You got Liverpool, Bayern, Barca, and Juve.
Yep.
Okay. Gerri, unless he's on mute. Gerri, who's your?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, who would you say would be your top 4, or would make it to the final 4?
Oh, it depends really on what happens in the quarterfinals, bro, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because some teams would crash against each other, who I think would be in it. You know what I mean? So, I think. Well, I can give you. I think Liverpool will go through. I think Barca will go through. I can give you what I think will be now. I mean, if you're talking about who I think the 4 strongest teams are, I think Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, City is such a close one to fall. I'm gonna go Madrid. I think Madrid will grind it out.
Well, how about we do that? How about we just break down all these games? So let's start with PSG and Dortmund. You got PSG winning that?
PSG.
Yeah, PSG.
Okay, Salim, PSG.
Yeah. I will give him, but I'm still like, I expect them to win, but I'm still keeping the unexpected.
They will win, man. They will win.
If they capitulate, man, bro, yeah. I'm inducting them for good.
This PSG is different than last year, though.
Yeah, I just don't believe in that. I don't. That's true, and while that's very true, especially with Gana Gay there being there, which no one's really talking about, strangely, but I still don't believe in their manager. I don't believe in their manager. So look, getting past Dortmund, they should do. If they do, then fine. But if they don't, I won't be surprised. I'll say that. the Chelsea Bayern game. Gerri, you first.
It depends what Chelsea might do in January as well. They might sign a few players in January, which might strengthen them. I'd like Chelsea to go through. Because I like what Frank Lampard's doing at Chelsea, even though he's a bit of a rough patch. But I like what he's doing with there. So I think Bayern will go through just. I don't think it'll be a battering or anything. I think Bayern will go through just. If Chelsea can get a couple of players in January, then they could go through. But for now, I'm saying Bayern.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on who they get in and how they can fit into the team with that little bit of time. But yeah, no, that's true. I got Chelsea going through. I think I don't really believe in Bayern in general. I know they got Lewandowski and Coutinho's doing well, but their defense is suspect to me. Jerome Boateng should have retired.
But Chelsea cannot big games, man. If they have a big game, they choke.
Yeah,
that's the issue with them.
Play big games.
And for his first time, really,
they're too naive.
Had these big games, so.
I don't trust them.
I
just don't trust Zuma. I just don't trust that defense there. If I want to do Emerson, Zuma, I don't trust them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Salim. Gerri said Bayern just barely get through them. Okay, Salim, what do you think?
Well, I'll go with Bayern. I expect them to do good this year, so I'll go with Bayern.
Mame, Bayern as well.
Yeah, Bayern.
Okay. The next game depends on what?
Depends what manager they have.
Who?
Bayern.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good point. So Leipzig Spurs. We'll stay with you, Mame. Leipzig Spurs.
What a tough one.
Spurs, man.
Spurs. Okay.
Don't underestimate. Yeah. They might go to the semis.
Spurs. Wow. Okay. We shall see. They pulled out a good result against Wolves. Go ahead, Salim.
It might surprise you guys some, but I have a slight feeling Spurs might not go through.
Mm-hmm.
I have a slight feeling, but I still put them favorite. But I have a slight feeling. It depends on if Leipzig can keep Timo Werner. If they keep him, man, and they have a good defensive and good midfielder, so they are a team that is compacted in a good way. They complement each other, all their players.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I slightly favored for Spurs to go through, but I have a slight also feeling for Leipzig to edge them.
Okay, Gerri.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 one for me. I can't put money. I wouldn't be able to put money on this game. I don't know. I think Spurs, maybe Mourinho. If Pochettino is still here, I mean, it's Leipzig all day long. But with Mourinho in, if he can, improve a bit more, obviously training with them, that game's a few months away, so we have more time to work with them. Possibly, I think Spurs will go through, but RB Leipzig is a sort of similar team as Ajax. That sort of attacking.
Yeah.
Similar match we saw against Ajax, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Spurs but I wouldn't be surprised if Leipzig knock them out. And I want Leipzig to go through.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think it is a 50-50. And again, I haven't seen much of Leipzig. I know they're leading the Bundesliga. Obviously, they're doing well in Champions League thus far. Timo Werner, stuff like that. So I'm going to go with Spurs. I think Mourinho, what he's doing there is really good so far. Obviously, they do have the loss in the league. The loss, I think, if not, I think one loss with Jose Mourinho in Champions League. But I like what he's doing there, and I think just his hunger to be back in that competition and kind of just put himself back out there again, I think will win him through. So I'm going with Spurs, but I feel like that'll be one of the better games of the competition. So looking forward to that one. Juve, Lyon. I think we all probably go with Juve on that.
Juve.
Yeah. Still curious to see what's going on with that game. But Who we got else? Oh, City and Real Madrid. Gary?
Madrid.
Yeah, pretty easy there. Okay. Salim?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Madrid. I picked them because still don't trust Man City in Champions
They've got
League.
too much experience, man. They've got too much experience. Even though there's no Ronaldo and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, Ramos, Marcelo, these lot they still got it.
Yeah,
This sort
the dark horse of Marcelo. I mean, the dark horse of Ramos. He knows the art of. He knows the art. So
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
why.
Listen, if Pep Guardiola gets knocked down in the last 16 again, I mean, seriously, I don't want to hear anything. I literally don't want to hear anything. If he gets knocked down, that means he's got knocked down in the last 16 by Monaco, semi-finals, no, quarterfinals against Liverpool, quarterfinals against Spurs, and last 16 against Madrid.
Yeah.
That'd be
Uh,
honestly.
Aren't there already talks about him maybe not even going past this season and Brendan Rodgers maybe possibly being his successor?
Wow.
So, yeah, I think that's really what they have to put all their eggs in the basket for Champions League. And honestly, I just don't see them winning that either. So, it could be a really, really fascinating situation for City, to say the least, come the end of the season.
But
Mame, go ahead.
I see City going through though. I don't know why, but I just see them making it.
Definitely possible.
And,
It's definitely possible.
No.
That's
they
a
have.
50-50.
Say again?
That's a 50-50 game for me.
Yeah.
It's a 50.
Yeah.
It's a 50.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be surprised with any result there. But who else we got? Napoli and Barcelona. I think we all go Barcelona on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously Liverpool, the Atletico. I don't think I left anything to. Yeah.
Barca is not good playing away games. Napoli is really good at home though.
I don't trust Gattuso, mate. Honestly, I just don't trust Gattuso.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really knock you for that. But yeah, we'll see. And let's just go. He did what?
He lost his first game at home yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Is that part?
Yeah, and he might lose some important players in January.
It's good about to get injured because he went off in the 5th minute, didn't he?
Yeah. No, is he injured? I don't think he's injured.
Well, he went off in the 5th minute.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Do you guys think that come January, Koulibaly will still be a Napoli player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till the end of the season, probably.
Okay, summer. Okay.
He'll be gone in the summer.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if and when and how if we play.
He should have left it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if Takumi. Well, I'm sure he will, but it'd be interesting to see where he plays for us. And I'm just so glad that he's able to play in the Champions League because that gives us just another option. Obviously,
will be back.
Say again.
I say Fabinho will be back by then.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I don't know how long Matip is out. It's been really quiet on that.
Yeah, I think he'll be back in January.
I expected this.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back in January.
Silence with Liverpool and injuries is never a good thing. Never.
Yeah. That's gone really under the radar. So, and I don't remember too many people asking Klopp. Say again.
No. If Klopp says
if Joe Gomez was injured for 6 weeks, sorry mate, one sec. When Joe Gomez was injured for 6 weeks last year, we thought, oh yeah, he'll be back in January. He ended up coming back in April. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
This is the thing, Matip, Lovren, they're all injury prone, these sort of players. I mean, as much as we love Matip, he picks up way too many injuries.
Lovren has 7 games
and that's it.
Yeah, and he gets injured.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. He got up twice in a
We
row.
said before the game, we knew that he would be injured in a few games. He will just come.
I thought Gomez was brilliant against Watford.
Yeah, which is a good sign. That's a good sign for us and him. I think that's just an encouraging performance, I think. So that's good to see. And it looks like, clearly he'll play where Klopp wants him to play, but he looks so much more at home at center back. I know he's had some dodgy performances here and there, Champions League, whatever, but I think playing this Van Dijk consistently can only be a good thing. And once he gets a run of games, which looks like he'll get at least in the Premier League, I think we'll be fine. I want to ask you guys a question about Curtis Jones and the team that's going to be facing Aston Villa. Now, apparently, Curtis Jones and I think one or two other youth players are heading to Qatar. I'll start with you, Mame. As good as we know Curtis Jones is, and as nice as it is to see his development, do you think he'll really feature much in Qatar? And two, do you think it would have been better for him to stay and play in the game against Aston Villa?
Yeah, I think he should have stayed, but because Qatar is only 2 games, man. And look at all the players we have right here. I don't know if club wants to go full strength in the final or in the semi-final, but I can't see him getting much game time there.
Yeah, I mean, Monterey, all due respect, I feel like if Klopp is bringing him, I feel like he probably is going to plan on playing him at some point. He might not start, but I think he'll get a good amount of time, especially if the game is going the way that, Klopp would like it to go. We're up by a very comfortable margin. He gets some game time. Obviously, I just don't think that he would bring him for no reason. But I do get the other side of maybe he should have stayed and played in the Aston Villa game. Gerri, you have an opinion on that?
On the what Curtis Jones being sent out on loan?
No. Curtis Jones going to Qatar as opposed to staying and playing in an Aston Villa game.
I'm not sure really. I mean, I think this just shows how much Klopp doesn't give a shit about tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like he's bringing even our best youngsters to Qatar. So I mean, tomorrow's a miracle if we get something from the game. Even if we get it through, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Salim, any opinion on that? Just would you have preferred Curtis to stay and play with the other guys in the Aston Villa game, or do you think it's a good thing that he's going to Qatar?
I think it's a good thing for him to be with the first team. I think it might boost his confidence or something. So, and I could see why Klopp probably chose that. I mean, he played him against Bournemouth for 15 minutes. So, and that kid that Nico Williams is also at, he's the one also flying with the team. So, I think Klopp is literally looking at he sees talents in them. So probably that's why he's keeping them close with the team and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brewster is going he's going to
Swansea?
Loan. Yes, he's getting loaned to Swansea.
Okay.
So that's good for him because when Klopp really, he's a good player. He's a good striker, really good striker, but he's not going to get a game time with Liverpool.
Well, it makes me wonder with Swansea because I don't know the situation really, but I know IU plays there. I know IU's been doing really well. So I don't know if their plans are to have a double strike force, or is he going to play instead of IU? I'm curious about that because there's no point in him going there. He's not going to play.
Yeah, and the Swansea manager is the same guy that was that led him to the England's youth 17. So they have a very close relationship. So
nice.
So I would have. He should have stayed, but I would have at least. It's good for him if he went with the first team. Both of them can play and learn a lot with being with the first team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
19, he's a 20-year-old or 19.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he'll give you. He'll boost his confidence. He might get around 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So who knows?
Yeah, it should be a good thing. I hope the best for Brewster. I know he's probably slightly frustrated that he's not getting more playing time. I don't know what he was promised or guaranteed or whatever, but I can't really knock the fact that he'll be going out. I just hope that he does get enough playing time. As you said, the manager at Swansea knows him, so I'd imagine that he gets some playing time and actually get some good playing time and have some decent performances. So yeah, lots of games, man. Klopp has obviously been out speaking about that, which he has for a while, and it'll be interesting to see with this kind of rise of Klopp and his team. So what? Hello? What'd you say?
I think he muted himself. I think it's you and me right now.
Okay, cool. I can't look at the screen right now.
I'm here.
Oh, Mame said. Yeah. So that'll be interesting, man, to see what Brewster does. And overall, I think I'm excited that Curtis Jones is going out. I can see the other side as well, but I do have a feeling that he will play even more than we maybe anticipate him playing in the Club World Cup. So that'd be exciting. But yeah, lots of games, man. Lots of stress on the players. And I think that's one thing that we kind of forget about sometimes when we. I mean, I'll always continue, and I encourage you all and people listening to always speak on the players how you want to speak on them. But I think sometimes we do kind of forget these guys are human. They do get fatigued and they play a lot of games. And that's the thing I like. It's almost a sick reward, because when you're such a great team like Liverpool, then every season you're going to have those more games to play, whether it be Super Cup or Club World Cup or whatever. We could be doing this all over again next season. If we win the title this year or the Champions League this year. So it's something that you want your team to continue to win, and sometimes you have to have these things that come with it. It's not always nice, but it's part of being a great team. I think United probably has experienced that over their times with Sir Alex Ferguson. So take the good with the bad. I think the FA, FIFA, whatever, we'll have to have a really, really serious look into this, because I think what Klopp is doing, and which is really left out of his hands, is he's saying, look, I'm going to play a B team in these other cups because I can't afford to run my guys into the ground. So I think it'll be interesting to see as the seasons go on how those things change as far as fixture build-up and things like that. But for now, as a supporter, I love seeing Liverpool play as often as possible. So I'm a fan of it personally, but I'm also not on the pitch, so I couldn't really necessarily understand everything they're going through physically with fatigue and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, man. In closing, just I want to thank all you guys for coming, being on, and hope to speak to you guys soon. Our first game in the Club World Cup is Wednesday, or is it?
No, yeah,
Wednesday.
we play. The kids play tomorrow, and Wednesday
Okay.
we play.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Predictions.
yeah, predictions. Let's do a prediction on Aston Villa first. We'll start with you, Gary.
3-0 Villa.
Oh, 3-0 Villa. Okay, all right, cool.
2-0.
Look, listen. I'll be
Bro,
honest,
if the
man.
kid if the kids pull out a shock, Klopp is not going to be happy with that. So,
Which is a shame. Which is crazy to say. But, yeah.
Klopp was already not happy with Arsenal. Like, he told them when we made mistakes, he was not even foaming and yelling. And
Yeah.
he was like, when Origi scored that goal, he was bemusing and smiling like.
These guys we're gonna leave it alone.
2-0, not 3-0, lads. I didn't say 3. 2-2.
Oh, 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0. I'll go with 2-0 Villa.
Mame.
Wow. I'll go with 2-0. 2-0, yeah.
First time
2-0
of the
sound.
league in Liverpool in about 10 years.
It sounds
Okay. Yeah, listen. I mean, the less said about this, the better. I think if we get knocked out of this, no one's gonna lose any sleep over it. I hate to disrespect the competition, but I mean, come on, let's be real.
Aaron, mate. Aaron. First time I'm predicting the loss in years.
Yeah, that probably won't happen. That probably won't come out of your mouth again. But I respect that. I mean, I kind of feel if it wasn't for us playing Everton and the other competition, I probably wouldn't care much about that either. But because it's Everton, I want to win. Okay, Monterrey. Now, Monterrey, is that somebody tell me what league they're in?
La Liga Mix in
Mexico. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I always get those teams mixed up. So let's go with a prediction on that. Stay with you, Salim.
I'll say 3-0 Liverpool.
Okay. Wow. All right. Gerri?
3-0.
Mame?
3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I was thinking a bit more for us and then maybe one for them. So I'll go 4-1. I'll go 4-1. I think it'll be a sleeper early in the second half, and we might just kind of mess around a little bit, and they might get a goal. And so when we come back, so what's our first game back in the Premier League? Is it Leicester?
Oh, it's a big game. Leicester.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be if Leicester wins, it will be 7 points, and if they lose, it'll be.
There's no way they're winning.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth because I was going to say the same things. But I hear you.
No. I'm talking about if Leicester beats Man City. If Leicester beats Man City.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
That's not gonna happen. That's not
Not us.
Let's really talk about that. We just saw Leicester draw to Norwich, which it was not a shock to me. I kind of saw them dropping something there. I always thought it'd be a team who they were expected to beat, that they would drop points to. I didn't see the game. I don't know how close it was or whatever, but they did have a draw there. Did Vardy score?
No, on goal.
Oh Jesus! So they should have really lost. Okay.
The goal was going other ways than the keepers. Idiot, man.
Oh man! Didn't they have an own goal against us in the first game of the season too?
Yeah,
Did they?
Origi. Yeah, Origi tried to shoot the ball, and I think it hit off the defender.
Yeah, it hit the defender. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's. I mean, real talk. Leicester City. Salim, we'll stay with you. Prediction. And why?
Against Man City or us?
No, Leicester and Man City.
Oh, I'm gonna go with 1-1 draw. And
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Look, if you look at Brendan Rodgers is not like one of those managers who's gonna sit back and try to play counterattack with Man City. He's gonna go toe to toe, like possession for possession. And possession for possession, and he'll try to expose, like use the space they leave, and their fullbacks are not similar to ours, not like the extent of Trenton, but they are like fullbacks.
I think they're the next best duo in the league, though.
Yeah. I think they'll go forward, so they'll use that space. So it's gonna be 1-1. And I think Vardy might score. Madison might be the one to score for the Leicester. So 1-1. If Leicester wins, I think it might send a lot of shockwave to the whole of Premier League. So
yeah, should be a good match. Gerri, your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2-1 City, 3-1 City. Leicester not gonna get.
Oh wow.
They're not gonna be City because if he tries to go toe to toe, what's gonna happen? City's gonna open them apart. De Bruyne is gonna just rip them apart and try to play open football. You can't do that. You have to adopt a similar strategy to what United did against City. Defend and hit them with they've got a bit of pace to hit teams with VAR, but I think they've got a bit of pace. VAR is the only sort of threat they have going forward. They haven't really got anyone else. With the Barnes and Perez, they don't really scare you too much. I mean, they haven't got that explosive wingers that United have with Rashford and James. I'm not too sure. I think City will definitely win the game though.
Yeah, I think not only the United tape, but I think Brendan Rodgers, which he probably won't, should be showing them the Wolves tape as well, because both Wolves and United both did that very well. That tactic.
Can't play open football. He's going to lose if he plays open football. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Brendan Rodgers has learned anything, and if he is going to stick to his ways of playing that open football, or will he be a bit more smart? Mame, what's your prediction for the Leicester City game?
If they were playing home, they could get something out of this game. But as is at the Etihad, I think City will win.
Yeah, I'm going with a 2-2, and I think it'll be a pretty good game. But I do agree with Salim, it'll be a draw here. But I could also see what Gerri said, 2-1, 3-1 as well. It all depends on, obviously, how Brendan Rodgers sets them up. Let's finish off with the Liverpool-Leicester, and then we'll talk about the score prediction for Atletico Liverpool. But Liverpool-Leicester be our first game back. Is that Boxing Day?
Yeah, Boxing Day.
Is that on Boxing Day, guys?
Yeah, yep. Thursday, yes.
I will assume that means yes. Anybody still there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Everybody's gone.
No.
We're here.
Oh, the connection is lost on my end. Sorry about that. So, Boxing Day, Mame, your score prediction?
2-1 or 1-0 Liverpool.
2-1 or 1-0. Okay. Salim?
I'm going to go with 2-0 clean sheet.
2-0 clean sheet. All right. Yeah, we've been getting clean sheets lately, which is nice. 3 in a row, I believe, on the bounce.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have got clean sheet against Watford.
No, we shouldn't have, but thank God that those two brothers didn't have their shooting boots on because that could be a different game. But
I know against Watford, but for me, that was just a very
We gave
sort
them,
of
we gave them respect. We gave, like, if you look at Watford, we gave them space and respect, which is kind of a weird way Klopp did that game, really.
yeah, well, look, listen, and maybe this is a weak thing to tell your team or excuse, but I do have a feeling that in some periods of this season, Klopp will expect the team to go out and get results, but also telling them, like, look, relax a little bit. Do what you got to do, of course, to get the result. But again, there's a lot of games, and we're getting injuries seemingly by the game now. So he's got to find a way to keep the guys' spirits up, to keep the guys still hungry, but also telling them, like, if it gets to a point where we've got the game just kind of coast through, do your best to get a clean sheet and just get the 3 points. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously the performance against Watford wasn't great. There were some moments here and there that were good, but you wouldn't look back on the season and say, wow, the game against Watford was one of our better performances. But Gerri, did you give me a score prediction for the Leicester-Liverpool game?
Yeah, 2-0, nice and easy.
2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not worried about Leicester one bit.
And then the big one in Spain, back to Spain, should be fun. Gerri, start with you. Score for the first leg?
Score for the first leg, 1-0 away from home.
Yep, I think that's a good one. Business trip. Salim?
I'm gonna go with the same, but I'm gonna keep I'll take the score 2-0 Liverpool.
Oh wow. Okay. Mame.
Wow, Salim, you love those 2-0s, man.
I do, man, I do.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll go with 2-0 too.
2-0? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0.
I thought I was being optimistic 1-0 there.
Yeah,
No.
listen,
Let me say, when I say 2-0, Liverpool either win 3-0 or 4-0. So
All right, well, that's 2 then.
it's been something for me. So
yeah, no, that first leg is definitely gonna be all important.
yeah.
I think we're all pretty much assuming that at Anfield it'll be us one way or another will win that game. But what we do in that first leg is really, really key. And then also at Anfield, doing our best to keep a clean sheet, which I don't think will be a too tall of a task. As I said, I do think Atletico will present their share of problems for us. But
I think that the battle to win against Atletico is going to lie on midfield because spamming crosses into their boxes will not do anything. They are they'll put their body on to make sure to defend that.
Yeah.
If you want to beat them, you got to come through middle. Like, that's the only option we have now.
Yeah.
No,
Then these crosses, man.
Wait, good. What were you saying, Gerri?
For that game, right? I think it's the opposite. You need width in that game because
I mean, if you tuck in Salah and Mane inside the box and you give the wings free, yes, you can. But they're like a team that also are good in defensive crosses and everything.
I think it's gonna be easy for them because they're gonna make it compact. If we're gonna play through the middle, it's just gonna be they're gonna just snuff out everything, and it's gonna be we're just gonna get into little scrappy situations. If
like width and the midfield has to be a part of our game plan.
The middle, we don't know what can happen to injuries and plays form and all that stuff.
Klopp might surprise us and go with 4-1, or the way we played against Salzburg, like 4-1.
Yeah.
So, and put
I don't think so. Because Salzburg, Klopp knew that they would attack us. But Atletico, you just have to.
He might put Salah in the middle and or I don't know. He could probably take Firmino in the middle and to have two defensive and go with Origi at the top and Salah and Mane at the wings position.
I'd just go for 4-3. That needs to just switch up things. I think in my opinion, you can either
4-3-3.
4-3-3 for me. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, I mean, all of those could work. I think
because they got Saul and Thomas in midfield. You need someone niggas and Thomas Partey in midfield. That's a strong midfield there, and Koke and so you need that protection that we have with Fabinho. He'll be back. Henderson, Ronaldo for me. I think that'll be a good midfield there away from home.
When is that first game? What's the date on that? Anybody know?
February, I think 15th or 18th.
No,
18.
18.
18. Yeah.
And we're playing
No,
Norwich before and West Ham after.
Oh, and we could have a 1 week of a break. So winter break is that week. So if we could play Norwich at the 8th and not play the 15th and have 4 days, a week off, then go to the
We play Norwich on the 10th, and we play Champions League on the 18th. And I think 4 days or 5 days later we play West Ham.
Okay. Yeah, man. Games, especially over this holiday period. It's a crazy amount of games in a very limited amount of days. So
Yes, the game's at the same time as the Liverpool final, the Club World Cup final.
oh, it's the same exact time? Damn.
Yeah, 5:30.
Oh yeah, I think you told me that. I had to try to flick back between the two because I definitely want to see that Leicester City game. Were you saying something?
Go ahead.
No, it's cool. Go ahead. What are you saying? Well, yeah, guys, man, it's great to have you guys on. Thanks for making time. Got to head back to work, but we'll speak to you guys very soon.
All right. Okay. Have a good time, guys. Enjoy.